Hi guys, Squill here. I'm back with another mod review video. This time I'm going to look at some Mercedes Benz mods. We've got two mods on show today. I thought I'd cover them both together. And you can see this is the first one. This is the Mercedes Benz Axor Ultimate Mod. Now I'm actually playing this on Eurotruck 1.9. So far this mod seems to work on 1.9. And as you can see, you can make a very nice looking Mercedes Benz Axor out of this. Lovely V8 lights on top. Inside is equally pleasant, very plush. But also, listen to this. When we start off, did you hear that? This thing comes with a sound tuning mod as well, so it changes the sound, and also it brings in things like new engines and stuff. And let me tell you, this thing is no slouch. This is the 850 brake engine in here. Put my foot down, you'll see what I mean. That thing picks up speed really quickly. Okay, so that's giving you a brief taster of the Mercedes Benz Axor mod. Let's go and take a look at it in detail. So the first thing to note is that this mod will present itself as a Mercedes Benz Axor low roof sleeper from the Mercedes Benz dealer. If you customize it, you can see this is the default out of the box, very boxy Axor, but you can change that. You've got the low roof sleeper, which is what is currently on here. You've got the high roof sleeper, which obviously raises the top of the cabin, and the high roof sleeper S, which is good for box trailers with the wind deflector on the back. Nice exhaust here, can you see? Tucks in quite nicely there, venting the exhaust fumes over the top of the cabin. In terms of transmission, chassis, sorry, we've got this rather nice looking, I mean, I like this. Look at the little details here. Look at this. Mercedes logo on the fuel tank. That's the 4x2 megaspace. Then you've got the 6x2 4 megaspace. That gives you a steering middle axle there. And then the 6x4 gives you the super long with the long tank on the back. So if you see the difference for a spin round here, basically half the tank size when you go 624 over 64. Let's leave 64 on and go and look at the engines. Now I did say to you it had modified the basic engines, and I wasn't wrong. We've got 400, 500, 600, even up to 800, and a whopping, insane, pointless 2000 horsepower engine. I don't know why mod authors do this. I'm sure it's just for fun. But personally, you know, going anything over about 850 seems pretty silly to me. So that's the most I would put in, but you know, your mileage may vary. Maybe you like 2000 brake horsepower. Transmission, very simple. We've just got two transmission options. Nothing much to say about that. And inside, we've got the Elegance, which is a very nice interior, I have to say. The sort of basic Actros interior. Quite a nice trim. This is more of my style. Quite cool colours, cool greys, but very plush and nice fitting. Or you've got the Trust Edition, which kind of gives you this kind of bling look with the white trimmed seats and the white steering wheel. Not my style, I have to say. But if you've got a white truck, then maybe it would go quite nicely. It even says Trust Edition down there on the door. Can you see that? But personally, I would go for the Elegance. Outside, standard paint scheme, but we'll go and visit the paint dealer in a minute, see what we can do with it. On top, we've got, in terms of options, we've got the V8s here, the Lumen Chrome. They stack those on top there. I don't believe there's any other changes to the lights. Just checking that now. Nope. So the only thing of note there is the V8 Lumen Chrome lights on top. In terms of the visors, we've got the Axor roof visor, the Mercedes Benz Axor UK, and the stock. And you may be wondering what's the difference. The answer is not a great deal. Essentially, there's a piece cut out here. If you go for left-hand drive, if you obviously go UK, then the other side is cut out. And if you go stock, neither is cut out. Personally, entirely pointless. I would just go with the stock. I don't see why you'd want a piece cut out anyway. In terms of the bull bars, don't seem to be any changes to the stock bull bars. And down at the bottom here, we've got the Dragonfly, the usual array assortment. I don't think there's any particular lights that come with this. Nope. Wheels, we have this new wheel, which I'm just going to move on because that is silly. Personally, I like using the tyres mod that I use, and that they seem to work absolutely fine with this mod. You can go for obviously red, or you can go for the paint, but I'll cover tyres mod separately. Tyres mod is a great mod to have, by the way, because you can get an extra few sets of wheels, and some of them are very nice, like these chrome ones here. Always look very plush, make your truck look very nice. What else have we got? We've got the door handles, we've got paint and chrome, paint and plastic. Not a great deal else apart from these chrome mirrors, painted mirrors or plastic mirrors. And that is pretty much it in terms of customization options. Finally, you will note when you take your truck down to the paint shop, you have a very limited set of options here. Even the standard paint skins aren't there. The patterns, you know, the stripes and the wavy bits, nothing. You basically go for one flat colour. It can be any colour you want. It's not like a Ford Model T where it's only black. You can have any colour you want, but it is just one colour. However, I would say this mod gets a big thumbs up from me. Probably if I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it a 7.5. Simply because it's a beautiful mod. If you love Mercedes Benz, this is a lovely truck to drive. I drove it on stream. It's fantastic looking, and also you get these wonderful xenon headlamps. You see with a nice glow down there, and the same on the back here. All in all, thoroughly recommend the Mercedes Benz Axor mod. Now, let's go and take a look at the Actros. The Actros MP4 will also make itself available from the Mercedes Benz showroom, or sorry, the Majestic showroom. Mercedes Benz Actros MP4 Gigaspace, this is the one that you want. Click on Customize, and you can see, again, another well-defined mod. Although very, very different. Bit more upmarket, bit more exclusive, you might say, given the side skirts. There are no side skirts available on the Axor, but there are on the Actros. However, we are severely limited. We have one cabin option. The author didn't think we needed any more, so we've got the 4x2 Gigaspace, the 6x2 and the 6x4. You'll notice the 6x4 comes with two whopping tanks. A big tank down the side here and another tank down the other side. This thing will go on for a long distance before you need to refuel it. If you go down to the 6x2, you just get the one tank, but you do get the nice little Mercedes-Benz logos on there, so points for styling. And if you go by the 4x2, well, I mean, you know, you've got enough fuel to go around the world here. Look at the size of these tanks. And they're in chrome. Ridiculous. You'll never need to go to the fuel station again. In terms of engines, though, we're a little bit more limited. 421, 449, 476 and 510. So if you're power hungry, then the Axor is better for you than the Actros MP4. The Axor gives you 800 and 2000 brake engine options. But nevertheless, these are sensible amounts of power. I say sensible in the truck driving world sense. In terms of transmissions, though, we do get a few more options. We've got 4 with the retarders and the shift, so you can pick whichever one you want there. And if we go inside, we've just got the Elegance and the Trust Edition. But as you can see, not quite as nicely done as the Axor. I mean, it's nice. There's a lot of computer console going on here. For some reason, when you're on the Trust Edition, your computer doesn't work properly. But it is a nice layout. It's a nice setup. Your sat-nav is functional over here. Good clean display. I like the display. It's very, very clear. But there's something about the trim. It's the brown. You know I'm not a fan of brown. And I don't like this at all. And look at the difference. The speaker grill changes. That's the only thing. But if it was me, I'd go for this because there's less brown in it. Not a fan of it. Prefer the Axor, to be honest. In terms of the paint, it's a similar story. 4 colours in here, and you'll find if you go out to the paint shop, you're going to get a custom colour, but there's no sense of putting patterns on there. What about the truck configuration? What have we got here? Well, we can put the V8s back on there because they come with the other mod, so that's nice. So we can stick those on here if you're running both mods at the same time. The usual array of stock items up top. In terms of the sun visor, we've got 2 options. Glass, which you can see the glass there, and glass and chrome just adds a chrome edge to the top. Very elegant, I would say. Very sophisticated looking. Again, stock options down here. Wheels. Wheels are where it gets very interesting with this mod. This is the Actros MP4, and the Actros MP4 makes these wheels available, but not on any other truck, only on the Actros MP4, which is kind of odd. I would have thought this guy could release these wheels out for a more user-friendly version in terms of just having a wheels mod separately that will work with any truck, but hey-ho. So you can see you've got these things here. You've got the, I can't even say this is obviously German, Variation 1, Variation 2. That one with the blue trim, we'll need to see if that paints down, but I don't think it does. I think it literally just comes out as blue or grey. Not a fan of some of these, I must admit. They're quite nice with the shiny Mercedes logo there. But what's with the blue? I'm not entirely sure. Nice, but the tyre decal is a bit dull. Simplistic modelling on some of them, but, you know, you get quite a variety. And of course, the standard ones work as well. The tyres mod, like I say, you can have the tyres mod. So it's up to you. You get extra choices. You get, that's Alcoa Variant 4, so I could put that on Alcoa. And you can see it works. Works very nicely. But what's with the, I don't get it. What's with this blue? What's with the baby blue colour going on? Side skirts, we get stock. We get stock with a plate that you can walk over the top. And we get this one, which I kind of like. It's a full-fitting, curved cutting, paint schemed up, plastic side. Perfect if you're running for a 4x2 axle. You get massive amounts of fuel. You know, that is a proper long-distance hauler setup right there. Good and clean, I like that. Okay, so that's pretty much covered the outside. Let's nip down to the paint shop and then we'll give this thing a whirl. Okay, so one slight correction to what I said earlier. You can actually use the standard patterns in this so that you can customize the paint configuration however you want it. Also note that the gloss on this thing is incredible. If you zoom in here, you can see I've put this kind of dark grey colour on, and it gives it a really metallic, shiny effect. Looks very, very nice. But what does it drive like? Well, interestingly enough, the Axor mod, which brings those engines with it, actually carries through across the range of Mercedes. So this thing will actually benefit from having the Axor mod installed with its Ultimate Mod pack, because then you'll get the wonderful engine and gear change sounds. You'll notice the interior with the dual sat-nav system, and on the outside, as I said before, you get that middle steering axle, and not a bad looking truck. This is actually one of the very, very few trucks where the Scorpion bull bar actually looks kind of okay. You think? It's not the best bull bar in the world, but it seems to work reasonably well here. In terms of driving, because of the engines only go up to 500, it's not quite as punchy as that Axor. If you've got the 800 on the Axor, you can absolutely fly. But nevertheless, it's a very sophisticated drive, just like the Axor. I like them both. Personally, I think I prefer the Axor, but then, you know, the Actros isn't a bad looking truck, is it? Certainly if you're a Mercedes Benz fan, you will absolutely want to get both of these mods, install them, and you probably already have. And if you're not a Mercedes Benz fan, then maybe you want to take a look again, because these things, I drove on the stream, both of these things on the stream, and I thoroughly enjoyed both mods. As usual, the links to the mods are in the video description. This has been mod review video number 2, where we've covered Mercedes Benz Axor and Actros MP4. Until the next video, guys, take care and happy trucking.